Greetings and salutations, Pokemon fans! We're back with more Smogon Premier League action, and today we're looking at Sugarhigh against TKO. TKO is on the scooters, which means he replaced Brian from the starting slot. Brian struggled a bit, so I understand, though I disagree with the decision, but maybe the managers have the vision while I don't, and so here we are. Sugar is coming off a win as well, so that's nice for him. He's got some momentum, and yeah, let's see if TKO lives up to my expectations. Right, this is a kind of weird team from Sugar High, and these kind of teams, I don't know, it feels old, but not in a good way. It's not vintage. This is just old, derogatory old. So we have Hippodon, Scizor, Starmie, Among Us, Terraclatios. Okay, so when you see a team like this, you know the Starmie is defensive, because Hippodon Among Us, you kind of want to play a slightly longer game, so you cannot afford Balloon and you will just die eventually to like Sand and Recoil and whatnot. And probably something like hmm Scarf Terrak? Because if you do Band and you do like what Scarflatios or Scarf Scissor, okay, Scarf Scissor in Sand is a bit too much, I think. And you kind of lose to Reuniclus that way. That seems misguided. Latios is okay-ish, but this team has very low power, so Scarf Latios seems off to me. Because you basically rely on Choice Band, you will be relying on, say, Choice Band Terrakion to punch holes through the enemy team, and while Terrakion is very good at that, this team has no momentum going into Terrak. That's why I think it's Scarf Rack and some offensive Latios, and Caesar should probably be Swords Dance, right? Sword Dance offensive, maybe? Although, if you do that, it's this thing instantly loses to enemy Latios, so I'm not sure if that's the case. Well, I guess we'll have to figure it out as we go. As for TKO, we have a pretty standard sound offensive team. I believe this was already brought this SPL at least once, but maybe twice. Once for sure, Monai brought this week one. I don't think it's the same sets. Monai was what offensive trick on Reuniclus. I don't think that's and like Swords Dance Terrak. I don't think it's the case here. I think this is your regular Calm Mind Reuniclus. Mm, yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, you have like double Thunder Wave to support Reuniclus in Titar and Ferro. You have Latios to also bait out stuff that answers Reun, and then you have Terrakion for damage and your Volcarona check, Sand, and then Landros is a good mon. Surprise, surprise. It's also nice because Reuniclus checks Rotom Wash, which is kind of annoying for this team, so you also have that going for you. As for leads, he pulled on if you're Sugarhigh. Like, that's. You need rocks up. If your opponent leads Latios, that's fine. You can either face tank it, although if it specs, you will almost die. Or you can also switch to Among Us and hope your opponent serves, which probably is what you click because there's a scissor here, right? If everything is unrevealed, you cannot just give it a free pursuit, right, on you. So he pod on lead here. You could also lead Among Us though. Among Us is a pretty strong lead here if it's Transport HP Fire, which I mean it should be, right? You can stay in on anything on this team and just transport turn one, and it will be quite annoying. If you're scared, like, no, there's nothing to be afraid of. Just lead Among Us here. As for TKO, you should probably lead. With this, I would consider leading Landorus. So if Hippodon leads, well, you just rocks, and then you can U-turn out to Ferro. If it's Among Us, you can also U-turn out to Ferro. If it's time you switch to, you guessed it, Ferro. And if it's Scissor, well, you probably get them up. Terracan is never leading. If Latios leads, that's fine because you have Tyranitar and Ferroton. So just play the game. Right, so I expect Lando here and Among Us here. And I got one right, and very nice. Ferro is okay into Among Us, but you risk losing a lot of health on your Ferro. And if this time is not actually defensive, though I'm still convinced it is, then that's a bit annoying. Immediately lets his Reuniclus get full, paralyzed. That's a bit odd. Oh, it's okay. No, never mind. It's a Trichroom. Okay, then it's okay-ish. But problem is you will get full parad eventually. It doesn't super matter though. You have one spike up. If you have a move that hits Starmie, then this is totally fine. Okay, Ferro comes in. What do you click here if you're TKO? Probably just spikes, right? No, Power Whip, miss. It will do 45, 50%. So not the end of the world, but annoying for sure. Because that gives your opponent a free Hippo turn. And let's see, spikes go up. Okay, do you just go hard into Reuniclus here? Probably, right? It's kind of annoying, but you probably have to do it. If your opponent doubles into shields or whatever. Okay, TKO disagrees. I guess he's going for... Oh, T-Wave. That's fine. Although, in this case, I would have T-Wave turn 1. Because it makes hitting transport very hard. Isn't it a bit weird to run like Thunderwave Ferrothorn and offensive Reuniclus? I don't know. That seems a bit misguided to me, but maybe I'm just being too harsh. Right, Ferro. She's got leftovers, so it's specially defensive. Okay, with U-turn. That's a set that I haven't seen in ages, but sure. It did 21 to Ferro, so it's 0 attack, right? And then it has leftovers. But that's not great. Lando? What? Why Lando? Just go Reuniclus and click. You can even directly attack. In fact, you probably should, right? Hippodon will take 25 from spikes plus psychic, which means it's forced to slack off next turn and it's still taking decent damage. As for, well, anything else will also take spikes plus life orb psychic in phase, which nothing really wants to here. Well, the problem with Lando is that now you're paralyzed. Okay, maybe this will work out though. Please U-turn here if you're TKO. Did he do it? Did he click it? Did he get punished? He did get punished. Do you risk Ice Fang? I think you do, just Earthquake. I guess not. Yeah, this is hard because it moved before Lando, which means, yeah. Oh, this is a very bad roll for TKO. Yeah, back into Latios is probably the right idea. If you're Specs, you just drop a Draco. You've seen the U-turn and that it's 0 attack, so the chances this is Pursuit are basically nil. So if this is specs, you just drop it. And Among Us will die. Okay, it's not specs, that did too little. But it's not lefties. Is this Scarf? No, right? It's like Colbor, I'm going to assume. And goodbye, Among Us. Okay, first kill of the game, turn 18. But I still feel like TK is kind of losing this game. Problem is that there's killing Hippodons looks really hard. But this Latios is also very strong because it's not choiced, so I'm going to assume it's Fire Move or T-Wave. No way, you don't run another T-Wave with Trick Room, right? So I'm going to assume it's Fire, which is pretty nice this game. Okay, Titar is the right play because at least it forces Sugarhigh to make a play here. Do you crunch or pursue it? I crunch. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! This is a vintage set. Okay, that's a reflect type. Unfortunately, you're now weak to superpower, so you must switch out at all costs. And TK didn't care at all. All right, your player is probably Land is fine. Land is a good shot. Okay, got kind of outplayed here. Latios comes out for 6% damage on the Latios, always cool. Oh, it's special defensive land. And that did 0. Okay, so this is not specs Latios. And you're going to have Pursuit here. And goodbye Latios. Oh, it was Kolbur. Right, it dies to Sand, so yeah, that's a nice Kolbur berry. Mhm. Okay, but are we? No, 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 no. Oh, come on, man! You cannot just. Okay, so you have you have reflect typed with Starmie on the Tyranitar, right? And you became a rock dark type, and your opponent didn't bother at all with clicking pursue superpower or earthquake, and so and it didn't click Ice Beam on the Hippodon either, which wouldn't do that much damage, but it is a play that you could consider in the spot. And so, and also this team is kind of weak to Skarmory, so at the very least you could consider Fire Move, right? And the problem, especially, is that Cecil was very good here. Landorus is pretty much dead, and so is Ferro. Reuniclus obviously will mega die. Terrakion is not tanking Bullet Punch. Tyranitar is also low. And so I don't know why you didn't just Bullet Punch if you want to go for this play. So if your opponent switches, everything will die except Ferro, but on Ferro you can just use it. And if Lando comes in, it takes U-turn damage plus rocks. If Terrakion comes in, you can just go Hippodon and play the game, or go Starmie even, depending on how fast you are. But with this, like, dancing on Titar, you don't even need to dance to win from here. You kind of do, because Terrakion does not die, I believe, if you're 0 attack. But doesn't matter, just attack, man. This looks a bit bad because now you're down 3 months, and yes, Terrakion is kind of threatening. Hippodon is also hard to kill for TKO, but surely the game will be easier if you just Bullet Punch here. And I get it. If your opponent does not have Fire Move, you win on the spot. Do you? You have to U-turn on Reuniclus, so but you kill 2, right? And so that's fine. But again, because of the Starmie sequence on against Titar in that 1v1, I don't know. I would have scouted it personally. Just I would have immediately Okay, if you go scissor here, you just bullet punch, right? And otherwise, you could have just gone it Podon. That's also totally fine. But this looks like a pretty lazy play. Like I didn't bother to scout. And now you go rack, sure. Titar is about to mega die. Cool stuff. So now that we have Terrak on the field locked, you just go Reuniclus here and you can double to Ferrothorn. That's the fun play, but if you can just Psychic or you can not move. That's also a possibility. Okay. Yeah, you should go Lando anyway, even if Whirlwind might be annoying and cost you a lot of health. The reason being you if you put on this at -1, you could just toss Ferro on it and just clip Power Whip. That's because it will take little damage. Okay, another full para, very annoying. I think this one is very annoying. Okay, Skull comes out. No burn, which yeah, that's I mean. Oh man, what a stupid set to face sometimes. And it's natural cure too, right? So you cannot even T-wave it. I mean, you probably should Thunder wave it anyway, but yeah. And Ferrothorn gets burned, so now it's as good as dead. Spikes is the right play. If you get a full para or two, then that's totally fine. Okay, Latios, decent play, I think. Uh, do you recover here or do you just click to move? I think you recover. That's what I will click. Does Sticky agree? Looks like it does. And uh, okay, so this has to be Scarf Terrakion, right? But last year, I mean last week rather, Sugarhigh loaded Latios fastest mon, and this might be another case of Latios fastest mon. And I don't condone it, but as long as it works, I guess it's fine. Right, Terrakion, Stone Edge comes out, you go your own Terrakion and click close combat. You have to assume that this is choice. Oh, wait. Okay, okay, alright, so Skull does not kill, obviously, it's in sand. If you don't get burned, you kill Starmie, that's nice-ish. Yeah, because you may win with Landos, even if it's paralyzed. With Starmie dead, at least Landos has one more. Oh, you don't go for it? I would have gone for it. 100%. I think you have to go for it anyway. Because if you don't get burned, you kill Starmie, right? That's all. That's a good start. Surf? What? So my thought process earlier. Actually, I'll just look at it after the game. Okay, so Latios dies. I'll just Calburn. Wow. And now you go Reuniclus and click Psychic. Because you have to. Use Pump Psychic. I don't like Trick Room. Although I guess you only need one crit will make you win the game, so I don't super hate it, but why not just roll Psychic then? I guess it doesn't really matter. But this is losing the game, right? This Reventless is not winning. I don't know. Oh, wow, nice. Just Earthquake here, right? Maybe you turn, but I think you value the leftovers recovery more. I guess TKO doesn't. Do you just psychic here, right? There's no other play. I mean, there's Signal Beam, yeah, maybe you confused, but I don't know. Psyche could also drop special defense, which would actually have been quite nice for TKO. So that's a bit unfortunate, but hey, it's 10%, so it doesn't always happen. And I believe this is we're quickly approaching game over. Oh man, that's another unfortunate paralysis. Okay, full paralysis has been very kind to Sugarhigh this game. Uh, Lando comes out again, and I don't know. You probably just click rocks. Yeah, just for the love of the game, get them up. It would also be very nice if Terrakion came out of a whirlwind because you can, ouch, you can just close combat on the Hippodon, right? You have balloon and this is mono whirlwind. Golando, okay, so if you have rock polish, which is a pretty weird, but it's winnable still. If you don't have rock polish though, this is probably over because I don't see how you win from here. Like this will click close combat 3 times and you just lose. I'm going with this has to be Scarf, right? And that's the Lando, and then Reniclus dies, and so will Terrak. Mm. Right, any goodbye, Terrakion. Anything? Um, right, so that's worseness, which Scissor was very bad. I think that's just trolling, extreme trolling. You can just attack with Scissor from there. It will do a lot. Okay, beyond that, um, TKO. He played without. He psychic the Hippo a lot and never got a drop, and also got crit at the end by a -2 Hippodon, which means it would have done. So it did 74 al 37, and then halved again because it's a -2. So that's what 18%. Instead, you took 74 because you could have just pumped psychic until a drop, and then when you get a drop or crit, well, if you crit, Hippodon dies, but if you get a drop, you can just Trick Room then, and then you're fine because your Terrakion is completely immune to Hippodon, and it's probably slower than both Starmie and Terrakion, at least the Terrakion. If Lando comes out, same thing, you're paralyzed, so you're slower than Hippodon. And so, yeah, I think this is a pretty unfortunate crit for sure. As for anything else, mm, no, I think these were the biggest. Oh yeah, with the +2 Terrakion, I believe you should always attack there. Where is it? Uh, because what else do you do? Okay, I missed it though because I'm bad. I'm not paying attention. Okay, here. I believe here you always. Yeah, SD is fine, but I think you have to attack here. I see the vision, right? So TKO is probably thinking, okay, maybe I can get a last turn Hippo versus Terrakion, last mon Terrakion versus Hippo, and if this Terrak is double dance, which it may very well be, then you can maybe win, but I think it's better to just kill Starmie from this point. And if you do that, your Latios, Latios plus Rack plus Lando just win. Okay, if you get bird, you lose, of course, but that's just Skull being Skulled. There's also no, there's no way you reflect type with Starmie on Terra, right? That's just stupid. It didn't happen anyway, but yeah, it's Skulled. I don't know why they. Okay, I guess we ate Starmie's front sprite. Right, so if you Stone Edge and don't get burned and hit, okay, that's a lot of ifs. That's like, what, 40% chance of things going horribly wrong. I think you have to take it. Because if you switch out like you did here, and okay, it didn't burn by the way. Ha, take this. Okay, I think you have to go for it. I will go for it personally. If you don't, you kind of just lose into Skull Starmie, which is exactly what happens. But if TKO Draco's here, does Starmie die? If it does, is that the play? If you Draco into Hippo, I mean, you can roost on Hippo for free because it's Whirlwind only. Okay, if all right, let's do some important stuff happening here. Right, so I'm a Starmie. I'm a puny little Starmie. And I'm Rapid Spin, but this is definitely not the set. I'm the Cold Berry. Draco, okay, no, because this definitely has health, right? Okay, that will do nothing. Okay, then I guess never mind. Huh. Alright, even more reasons to click Stone Edge there, because then your Latios wins, like on the spot. Almost. Not a given, because I think this is Carterrakion. Even if it's banned, it leaves one hit, so that's kind of annoying, but you still have your own Terrak, and Reun at 80%, and Lando and Latios, of course. So you can just. Yeah, you can just play off that. I think that's the better play. Already went over Sugarhigh's big mistake this game, which was SDing on the Titar. I think you can just attack from that spot. And Caesar will kill everything pretty much just by virtue of existing. And so probably will make the game much easier than it was in the end. Yeah, that's it. But hey, for a first game black and white on the big stage, let's say, it's not that bad. Like there was no obvious horrible mistake from TKO, right? He got a little unlucky. Well, okay, maybe letting two months get stun spored was a bit too much. Probably just let Reuniclus stay para for life, and maybe Lando getting paralyzed that early, which resulted in a lot of full paras down the line was maybe not the best, but also I mean what can you do? Your only switch in is a Reuniclus without recovery, I assume. So what? Eventually you will die anyway, and yeah, you have to take some risks like that. But yeah, that's about it. Fun game still, and good job both, and see you next time.